Some of you may have seen my shorts or clips of the FlyByWire A320 flying with a fully functional heads-up display in Microsoft Flight Sim and wondered, how do you do that? Well, today I'm showing you exactly how to get this working HUD in your own FlyByWire A320neo. Now, just to be clear, this feature is not part of the main development branch, and it's not officially on any roadmap just yet. However, these amazing contributors have been hard at work developing it behind the scenes. Most recently by Julkem on pull request 9428, building on top of the earlier work by NoNT back in 2024. Because it is still in development, we do need to go under the hood and get our hands dirty to make it work. I'll be guiding you step by step through the process so you can load it up in Flight Sim 24 and test it out yourself. Just keep in mind that this is still a work in progress, so expect a few bugs and quirks along the way. So without further ado, let's jump into what we need to make this happen. Since the feature is not on the main development branch, we need to compile or build a modified development version of the FlyByWire A320neo aircraft. Sometimes if you're lucky, the GitHub pull request will already have a pre-built version ready to download. To check, go to the pull request link in the description and head over to the Checks tab. On the left side, look for a section labeled PR Test and Build Flight Sim 2024. Click that, scroll to the bottom, and look for a download link called FlyByWire Aircraft A320neo. If that file is there, download it and skip straight to this timestamp. But if you're like me and don't see that file, it just means the FlyByWire servers haven't compiled this specific update on their site yet. But don't worry, we can build it locally on our own computer by using the official method documented by the FlyByWire Development Corner website. To build the aircraft locally on our system, we'll need to clone the source code of the add-on to our computer. I recommend using GitHub Desktop for this, as I'm not good at dealing with command lines, so go ahead and download GitHub for Desktop and install it. You can install using all default settings. In order to build the modded add-on ourselves, we also need a second software called Docker Desktop. FlyByWire uses a pre-configured Docker container to compile the add-on. Without it, we have to dive down the whole rabbit hole and install and configure so many other things, so using Docker is just gonna be easier. So go ahead, download and install Docker Desktop onto your system. We will need one more software to make this work, and that is Git. Git ensures your computer understands our commands later on when we get our hands dirty with command prompt. I've posted all the links to these three softwares as well as other important links in the description of this video. Once those three software are installed, we're ready to build. First, make sure Docker Desktop is open and running correctly in the background. Next, open GitHub Desktop and sign in. Go to File, Clone Repository. Select the URL tab and paste the main FlyByWire Aircraft Repository link. Choose where you want to save the folder. Please note that the full repository is quite large, around 43 gigs, so make sure you have the space on your drive to let it download. Press Clone. The download process will take some time, so please be patient. Once the download finishes, look at the top bar where it says Current Branch Master. Click it, switch over to the Pull Request tab on the right, and search for 9428. You'll see Julkem's pull request with this title. Click it, and then GitHub Desktop will fetch the code, and your current branch will update to pull request /9428. Now for the fun part. In GitHub Desktop, go to the top menu and select Repository, opened in Command Prompt. A black command window will pop up already pointing at your source code folder. Copy and paste this exact command to set up the compiler environment, and then hit enter. This downloads the required compiler build script. If it is your first time, it will take a couple of minutes. Once it's done, you'll see your normal folder path and blinking cursor again. Now we can actually start building the modded aircraft add-on. Copy and paste this command and then hit enter. The build process should start now. And you can see Docker is now firing up in the background to compile the entire add-on into a clean Microsoft Flight Sim package. This process will take about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how fast your CPU is. Now a warning, while this script is running, do not press Ctrl+C or anything else inside the command prompt window. It will freeze or even kill your compilations. Trust me, I learned that the hard way. If you want to make sure it's working, just open Docker Desktop and watch the CPU usage. While the project is compiling, or if you're one of the lucky ones to have downloaded the pre-built version earlier, we still need to grab two small files. The custom cockpit model by Julkem and the MSFSLayoutGenerator.exe. Please double check the GitHub pull request page to see if Julkem has updated the custom model link, as my link in the description might become outdated over time. Once the compiler finishes its job, the command prompt will go back to your source code folder and blinking cursor again. You can now close the command prompt and navigate to your source code folder directory. Go to Aircraft, FlyByWire A320neo, Out. Inside, you'll see a folder named FlyByWire-Aircraft-A320neo. Copy this folder and paste it directly to your Microsoft Flight Sim 24 community folder. Or if you have downloaded the pre-built version earlier, simply paste your downloaded folder into the community folder instead. Now, because the source code-based A320 model doesn't have a model for the HUD system components, we need to manually swap it out with the custom ones from Julkem. Go inside the FlyByWire Aircraft A320neo folder in your community folder and navigate to Sim Objects, Airplanes, FlyByWire A320neo, Model. Now remember, you've just downloaded the custom 3D models from Julkem. Go and open that up, and then drag and drop the modified interior files into this folder, choosing Replace Files at Destination when prompt. We are almost done. The last step is updating the layout.json so Microsoft Flight Sim actually recognizes our new 3D model. Go back to the root of the FlyByWire A320neo folder in your community folder, take the MSFS layout generator that you downloaded and drop it right into this folder. Now, simply click and drag the layout.json file and drop it directly onto the MSFSLayoutGenerator.exe. A quick command prompt window will flash on the screen for a split second. This means the tool has rewritten the index files to include your new 3D HUD model. And that is it, we are fully set up. Fire up Flight Sim 24, I highly recommend doing a quick circuit on the runway with a Cat 3 ILS approach, so you can verify that the flight path vector and the HUD alignment perfectly match the sim world environment, unlike the enabled A350. Anyway, looking around the virtual cockpit, you'll see the 3D model of the HUD assembly above your head. The textures are still placeholder colors, but the functionality is all there. Over on the glare shield, you'll find a working HUD control panel. You'll have a brightness knob, a crosswind toggle, and the declutter button. The crosswind toggle shifts the peripheral displays up higher out of the way, so your view of the runway isn't blocked by the altitude or speed tape during a crosswind craft approach. The declutter button cycles through 3 modes. By default, it is in normal mode, shows you everything including the FMAs, speed and altitude tapes, basically everything the PFD normally shows you, plus the extended runway centerline and a synthetic runway outline. If you press the declutter button once, you'll get declutter 1 mode. It cleans up the center field of view by hiding the synthetic runway outline and extended centerline. If you press it one more time, you'll be in declutter mode 2. It strips down everything to the bare essentials. The ILS, localizer, glide slope, and other non-essentials disappear completely. The speed and altitude tapes shrink, and you're left with flying purely by the bird, the horizon, and basic pitch guidance. And now let's let this plane auto-land itself.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Once you touch down, the HUD automatically transitions into ground handling mode, showing your ground speed, deceleration metrics, spoilers deployment, and thrust reverser status directly in where your eye should be looking, at the end of the runway. I'm grateful for the FlyByWire team and their open source contributors. If you remember the early days of Flight Sim 2020, in my eyes, FlyByWire literally saved the airliner simulation communities when there were no other high-fidelity airliners around. They show everyone that the sim platform has the capability to be better, and it is good to see them still going strong, developing and maintaining for their A320neo and A380 freeware in Flight Sim 24. Whether this specific HUD branch ever officially merges into the main development release or not, I don't know. But regardless, it is incredibly cool to be able to play around with it right now. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Drop a comment below if you run into issues while trying it. Hit that like button if this helps you out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.